Hello there, and welcome to another Mindset Monday. I am Eris Creates with Artapreneurs, where I teach independent artists and creatives how to never have to choose between their art and their income again. Today is a Mindset Monday. That means we're talking about stuff that goes on in our heads as creatives. Wherever you're watching from, I'd love to hear from you. Make sure that you are commenting. If you're watching live, I'd love to know that you are. What do you think of the content? Let me know. What would you like to know about in the future? Let me know there too. If you're watching the replay, drop a 2 in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I like to interact with you guys and hear from you about your thoughts. If I helped you out in some way, it's always nice to know that. I do get a lot of that feedback these days and I appreciate it so much. There's a lot of places you could be watching from, but I may not be able to see where you are coming from or your name, depending on where you are and whether you share that information with the platform you're watching on. But I'm so glad you're tuning in today. I want to, hello from Macon, Georgia. Hello there. Thanks for the, today I want to talk about the entrepreneurial mindset and how it applies to us artists and creatives, because I think there's still such a major disconnect between a lot of the traditional arts training, the lives that we lead as creatives, as we're being raised to, work on our talent and to be given the promise that maybe our talent could take us somewhere. And a lot of times people don't get that promise at all. They get the opposite. They get the start. Honey, we don't want you to take that path. It just doesn't sound secure. We don't want someone in our family to be a disgrace, or whatever those types of comments are. And they're terrible because something has changed, you guys. Something has changed really big in the last 10 years or so. The word entrepreneur has become positive. It's become something good, and it's become highly supported by tons of platforms, behaviors, models, ideas, and it's a mindset thing. Largely, it starts with getting it straight in your head about what is being an entrepreneur. People tend to confuse being an entrepreneur with certain activities, with ideas on how they should do things. But it starts with mindset. Talk about that today as it applies to you, the artist or creative. So the first thing that people think about when they think entrepreneur is, I'm going to go and start a business. And a lot of people do start businesses. But what sets those businesses apart from entrepreneurship? There's a lot of mom and pop shops that will never be considered entrepreneurs. Now, why is that? Because there's a certain kind of mindset that comes with being an entrepreneur. I'm going to talk about 2 key factors today that I want you to understand about entrepreneurship, that it applies to all entrepreneurship, but especially to us artists, where we have to think very carefully about why it is that we do the things that we do. So the first thing is that entrepreneurs solve problems, right? Now, why is that important? Well, because businesses solve problems. Entrepreneurs are generally in business and, well, they want to solve problems. But they're not just the typical problems, right? They're the problems that come from a very specific subset of people who are needing something in a market. All right, so solving problems is a big deal. Now, why does that apply to us artists so well? I will tell you that in a minute. Keep listening and stay tuned, because there's a second piece to this that I think also applies to us artists so well. You'll hear the tie-in with these 2 very big pieces of mindset when I mention this second one. Because the second thing that entrepreneurs do is they constantly test ideas. Now, are you getting it? We've got solving and testing ideas. What does that sound like? Kind of sounds like science, doesn't it? Hey, but artists, they're not scientists, are they? No, not in most people's minds. But the truth is, to me, we are. We are the best scientists, because we want every area of the world. We want to do it through our creativity. We want to do it through finding new connections between odd ideas and different disparate things that don't seem to go together. Well, why would being an entrepreneur be so great for an artist then? Well, because we're exactly that. We're the scientists who take the most crazy things and mash them together and make something completely new. That is 100% entrepreneurship right there. The problem is most artists don't understand that connection. They don't understand what a powerful mind and a powerful tool they have in their creative mind. So the reason why artists make such great entrepreneurs is because we already have the innate behaviors and personality traits to be doing exactly what entrepreneurs do all day long in business. Here's the reason why you will do really well as an entrepreneur. You take that creative mind that you have and you structure it towards a goal in business. And instantly you become more powerful and you have so much more opportunity in front of you than most any other entrepreneur would, because you see the world differently and you can execute too. So this is the thing I want you to understand about entrepreneurial mindset. Two things you need to do constantly. You want to make sure that you are looking at the world to find a problem that you can solve, specifically as an artist, as a creative person who's looking at the world and you see something. It's either missing, it's needing improvement, or it's something that's already there and you can take two of those things and make them go together in such an amazing way that people will absolutely love it. So that's an important thing. The second thing is the testing part. And here's where a lot of people fall a little short, okay? Maybe you're a big entrepreneur. Maybe you've gone and you want to start a freelance career. That freelance career might look like taking commissions of some kind. Maybe you're making music, films, whatever. Okay, that's the beginning stages of entrepreneurship. It's definitely dipping your toe of entrepreneurship. It's to stick your foot out there and say, well, I'm going to try this little pool over here. I think there's some people going over there that might make me some money. I'm going to do something that I think is good because there's already somebody doing it and they're making money. I can do the same thing, but I can do it better. All right, test the idea. That's the important part of the second step of the mindset of an entrepreneur, is to understand that everything is a test. The problem where people usually hit a wall is when they start to test and they realize it isn't going well. Everything's telling me this is bad, bad, bad. I'm not making money. I'm wasting my time. People hate it. I don't know what's going on and I need to quit. Haha, there's the little twist. An entrepreneur doesn't quit. An entrepreneur takes that information, takes that data and says, what was a good thing that came out of this? Where did it go right? Now, why did that go right? And why did this other thing go wrong? And they don't take it personally. They don't say, I made that piece of art, so therefore, when someone didn't like it or they didn't want to pay, I personally am terrible. I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the difference. The entrepreneurial mindset says it's not about the thing I made. It's about what I did, how I presented it, what I charged, and the people that I did or did not connect with. So important mindset for entrepreneurs and artists. Make sure you understand as you're testing, and you test everything, all the way down to a simple email, a social post, the paint that you use, the weird synthesizer you used in your music. You test everything. And you listen carefully for feedback. And that is called the iterative loop, right? So we do something, we test it, we get feedback, we review that feedback, and we change our behavior set. We try something new. And what's really cool is us artists, we could try something new all day long, every day. We love it. We absolutely adore trying new things. So you guys, creatives, artists, I love you. I love you, and I want you to understand so much why it's important to not take it personally when you are becoming an entrepreneur and you are testing. Because even though all of your creative work and your art is your baby, it's not you. It's never going to be the sum total of who you are. So you consistently need to understand that as you're testing, you're finding new things that work and don't work, and you're choosing which path you want to take. It's a great choose your own adventure type of work. And artpreneurship can be so rewarding, because when you finally find something that you love doing, that makes you money, that gives you a rewarding feeling and makes an impact in the world, you found the perfect for you. And that's what I teach in my membership and in the summit that I'm having coming up. So if you're watching, be sure to check that out, because the summit, the Artapreneur Summit, will be happening again this year. So I'll have that information soon. I love you guys. Thank you for watching today. If you've got questions about something related to your creative career or your art business, if you're an independent, you're making it alone, or you're working with small teams, I love you to death. Check in with me. Let me know what you want to hear. And thanking in today. I look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you are liking and sharing and making sure that you connect with me on all of the social networks. Talk to you guys later, and